Previously on Redbeard's Garage.
For all the ones that says this ain't gonna work, wait till it breaks and say I told you so.
Ain't gonna happen. So when we took these knuckles off the 670, if you look, come over here and look, you can see how bad these tabs was bent, and that threw our alignment off. And then also, I guess where we jumped the driveway, you got to look down at an angle at the brake disc. You can see it's the actual wheel stub is bent, so this brake disc is set in cockeyed, and that's what kept making our tire lock up. So basically the whole knuckles are trash. And
the steering.
Yeah, and the steering. If you look at the steering, this 1/8 inch thick steel just bent when it got in the bind. So we're going to put a piece of square tubing on the back of that to keep it from bending, so we won't have a problem out of that. Of course, we got to hammer it back into place, and then we're going to use our old stock knuckles off the old spider box. These will be good for now. We just don't need to jump the driveway or nothing. Probably end up doing it and breaking them, but we got some new of these upgraded spindles coming. We just gotta wait. They're out of stock right now, so we're gonna slap these on, and we're probably gonna go ahead and weld these brake mounts on so we can remount our disc brakes up front, because we haven't ran back brakes yet, and I'm waiting to do that until we pull that motor section, because I'm gonna cut those mechanical brakes off and add one hydraulic, so to have 3 hydraulic brakes. So we're gonna start pulling apart this front end. And I need to get these wheel hubs turned down to match, or the spacers to match the hub. It's just when we threw them on there, we're just riding around the yard. It isn't going to hurt anything. Is the bearings busted up?
Yeah, bearings busted. That's why it was kicked. Bearings are gone. Look, right there's a race.
Good gosh. Yeah, that thing was murdered.
That's the problem.
Well, and plus, these tabs. I wonder how hard it'd be to bend that tab back down.
Get a big hammer.
So since that other bearing was pretty much shot, we're going to check this one. And the wheel spacers is what did it, what killed that bearing.
Well, it made the front end wide enough not to have wheel spacers.
Yeah, but we was rushed, and none of this was. The next build will be a, what's the matter?
Stiff.
Is it? Needs what the
ball joints.
Ball joints just being new, you think?
I don't know. I think it's because they're in such a. It might be just because they're new.
So what happened on our other side, probably jumping the driveway as well, is what did it. But this outer bearing just busted to pieces. So I don't think this one is, but we still want to pull it apart. We're still going to put a brand new bearing in it. And get it all swapped out. Oh my goodness. And if you notice in the video, the brake was locking up, and that's because one of my disc bolts worked its way loose and was catching the caliper. It actually put a good score on the caliper. And that's what happens when you build something. We built this thing in 5 days and didn't get to check out anything. Good gosh, pulling that.
a little rough, but it's good.
Yeah, so we can slap a new one in it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll need another spacer. We're gonna have to get 2 spacers. But if you look at this caliper, come on, baby. Look at where the good gosh, that's where that one bolt had worked its way loose and just eating into this. That sucks. I mean, it shouldn't hurt it any. We can sand that down, and I mean, I have more of these calipers. We can throw a new one on. So now, where's that at, Brandon? That spacer.
With using that clip on the bearing, you won't have to have this.
Was that just to space out the? That was just space out the nut.
Right, you won't have to have it.
Oh yeah, because it'll be stuck out.
But it sticks it out the 1/2 inch more than it was, having that clip on it.
Here's the bearing race. So, I mean, it's fine, but it's, you know, not part of the bearing anymore. So there's all of our bearing. Where is that spacer at, Brandon? That we're going to have to get it. Yeah.
It's laying over there.
So we have new bearings from good old Go Power Sports. We're going to run, but we need to get the spacer that goes in beside and touches the inner race of these bearings and keeps them spaced apart enough. So, and what that also does is it steps this rear bearing down to a 5/8, because this is like, I'm guessing a 3/4 maybe, Brandon. So yeah, here's the spacer that went in between. You can see where it got ate up. This touches the inner bearing. This touches the outer bearing, or this actually you can see where it's set in the inner bearing to step it down to a 5/8. But when that bearing had busted, it ate this up, and this nut right there, bolt, had worked its way loose and was eating into that caliper. So we're gonna go get 2 of these spacers, 2 inch long, and that should correct this on our distance. And then this bolt is bent a little bit, and we're just going, I mean, it is enough, we don't think, to hurt anything.
It's not bent as bad as this one.
Yeah, those are the factor ones. Look at, you can tell by looking at it how bent. It's pretty rough. So we'll go to the good old Royal King, and hopefully they got these spacers. Hopefully. So we busted out our outer bearing on these hubs on the driver's side. It's probably where we jumped the driveway, because it lands all on that one side, and the wheel spacers didn't help anything. So what we're doing to fix that problem is we took the little bushing out that was basically steps down the inner bearing to a 5/8 shaft. It's a 3/4 inch bearing inside diameter. So what we can do is stack 2 of these Go Power Sports bearings in the end. So that's going to give us, you know, double the width and bearing. Hopefully that'll keep this from wearing bearings out fast with those wheel spacers. And we had to cut our own brass bushing. This is a 1 inch one, and then we had to cut a little piece to make up the gap inside. So now we already have it installed on one side, and we also hammered that tab back down and welded on a piece on the opposite side. So that thing is bulletproof now, hopefully. The only bad thing about that is if we ever get it in a bind where it won't bend that tab again, it's going to break a ball joint or something. But I wouldn't think it should do that anyway. So we need to figure out why. Well, me and Lonnie drove the far out of that 670. Well, we did. We drove the far out of it. Far in the driveway. That was the far coming out of it. So, where's our spacer? So now we can slide this one all back on. There we go. Slide. Actually, I got to slide this in first. This brass bushing has to hammer down in this. Yeah, forgot about that. Alrighty. You slide that little piece we cut in the inner bearing and the outer bearing. That's good.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Alright, we're going to blacksmith this bad boy back into shape. Ooh, that's pretty close.
One more time. Look, it's got it.
Sweet. So we cut this out to 3/8. Yeah, just to sit right in there. Perfect. So we got these red harnesses, and then Jegs had the seatbelt tabs, which was so cheap I might as well buy them instead of making them, because I don't have a drill press, so this would have took forever. So we're going to weld 4 of them on this back bar right here for the shoulder harnesses, and then 1 on each side like so for the lap belt, and then 1 in the middle of the 2 seats, and they'll both share the same one.
Start on that side.
No, you're good.
Okay.
So we're not the smartest people in the world, so when we mounted this rack, we didn't know that it makes sense now, but so whatever angle the A-arm is on, the steering, the tie rod needs to be on the same angle. So if you look at it, this is at an 80 and this is at a 70. So we got to lift this up to match the same angle, because when we flex our suspension out, it's making our tires toe out, which we didn't know before, but guess what, now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yes. So we're going to pull this rack off. I've cut a new piece of square tubing. We'll bolt the rack to get it, you know, where both sides are matching, and then we can tack it into place. We hope. We'll see how that goes.
Easy as that.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. We also may need to unbolt our universal joint off of that. So now, if I basically just bolt this to this,
Pull that up.
you getting a good shot there, Love? All right. So, slap our one. Oh my goodness.
Drop that.
That's classic.
That's going to need a new wrench replacement.
Yes, wrench replacement plan. Only at Sears and Roebuck.
You got the extended warranty, right?
Yeah.
Oh
gosh, wrong one.
Wrong one. Go.
Okay. Now we can get this wherever, but we got to worry about, you know, hitting these A-arm mounts. So go ahead and check that. I'm just curious of where that's a setting.
That right there is at 71, 72.
Check the A-arm.
The A-arm is at 71, 72.
Okay, so that's the same. Check this other side.
Same.
A little more.
This,
What we can do is tack one side. We really need.
I was about to say, yeah, this time
Yeah.
you're a little loose right here. So
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think of how I need to make this. Because we're mounting a square piece of tubing to a piece of round, that's going to be our problem. So it needs to go
it
down.
needs to go up. Oh, my bad.
My bad. Raise it up, because of course as we're raising this, you know, the distance is getting smaller, yeah, on our tie rod, so it's going to pull the tires in. We know this for the future. That's the good point to all this.
Single seater is going to be so easy to build.
Well, don't you dare jinx us. So long as we can get, it don't matter if the tires are towed in or out right now.
No.
Because this is staying at the same height no matter what. We just need to get the caddy wantness to be correct. Gotta make sure we're not hitting anything. And I'd really like to build it out a little bit so the arms are straighter. Okay, so we're gonna figure this out, tack this in place, and we'll pull the camera out and show you, because it's gonna be boring watching us think for 7 days. Well, it looks sweet though.
Looks like a frog.
Little old frog. And look how we made our seatbelt retainers. Zip-tie-tastic.
Oh. Well, I was thinking, couldn't you just put something on there to hold them there?
Is that what you're thinking? I'm sorry.
Greg's gonna lose his videographer. Oh, really?
No, I meant like, oh, I am sad. Jeez. We're making the headlight brackets now to both these Nightlight contacted us and sent us these awesome, huge fog lights. These are, I think, 85 watts. They're gonna look sweet on there and a little bit overkill. They good?
I think so.
So now we're just marking. We got one welded out. So we got to do one mow. Okay.
Last time I cut it on the line and it was too short.
Yeah. So talk crap in the comment section below. Hey, your brother's dumb and can't cut a straight line, idiots. Cool.
Okay.
I'll put some gloves on for Pete's sakes. He care about us. Oh gosh, wrong hand. Don't even know how to put gloves on. That's why we don't wear gloves. We couldn't figure out how to put them on. The thumbs will be on the back of our hands. Look at that pretty little
That's
baby.
beautiful.
That's the prettiest thing. Oh, guys, our go.
What?
Why are you filming with the heater blasting? Like a gosh dang 747 twin engine taking off in here. So it's been a couple weeks, but we got that all welded in there, and that actually fixed the steering just right. So now we just have to deal with a little bit of bump steer. So basically, we still have a little bit of bump steer, and we're going to try to do some steering stabilizers like a four-wheel drive truck would have, just to keep that bump steer down. I think it's how low geared our rack is. We get about probably 3/4 of a turn, and we're at full lock. So I think that's the problem when we're riding off road. It's steering everywhere. But we did fix the towing in problem. That's completely fixed now. Everything's lined up really nice. So on the next video, we're going to start pulling off the engines, get the rear brake mounted, and we're also going to weld some tabs on for the floor pan and put our new front pieces on. We got our new knuckles in, and we're going to get those spacers milled down to fit all the way against that hub. So yeah, twin engines come along. Stay tuned. We're going to get a lot more done on this thing, and then finally take it for a really good ride. We're probably going to go back up to my brother's woods. If you remember, a long time ago, we took the 670 and the Zircon up there and had a blast. So stay tuned to that and more Texas videos. Thank you guys for watching, and God bless. Redbeard's Garage is powered by GoPowersports.com. GoPowersports has a huge amount of awesome go-kart and mini bike parts, and when making your purchase, use the Redbeard discount code in the upper right-hand corner of your shopping cart to grab yourself a sweet deal. Hit that subscribe button and make sure the notification bell is on so you'll never miss another episode, and go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest to stay up to date with the channel. Guys, always come back to Redbeard's Garage. I'm out.